thank you very much. Sarah Eisen, if you don't mind, since you are so often do the cold call to so many other people in the room, that I thought I would come to you first to break the ice, and we've not rehearsed anything, so I hope you don't resent me for it. But Sarah, what would be a first question you might want to ask the President?
And President Zelensky, thank you so much for taking the time. My question, I actually have two questions, Jeff, if I'm permitted. But my first question is, you speak to so many global leaders. You are speaking to a room of American CEOs. What would you say is the action they can take today to help you and your people?
Thank you for the question, Sarah. For us, it is important that the world remembers that the war is raging and that some territories are still occupied. There are heavy battles raging, and this war continues until Russians are in our territory. This is the war for freedom, the war for principles of sovereignty and the rules of international law and democracy as a whole. It is important not only to talk about it, but also to know that our words are heard, and to know that these words bear concrete conclusions. We're addressing very distinguished people, CEOs, top managers in various industries of economy. For us, the most important thing is to see concrete steps that you as concrete people and your companies could take. These are steps related to making our lives easier in this war. I think that this is our common war. The companies that are represented in the Russian market should leave, if that is possible for them, to leave Russia completely. The most important thing is that they do not only leave Russia, but do not pay taxes to the Russian financial system, because this money are used to finance Russian war machine that is killing Ukrainians. As the president of Ukraine, I'd like your companies to consider not only the option of leaving Russia, but also finding their place in the Ukrainian economy, because this is important in terms of employment for our economy, to deal with the tremendous challenges that we are facing. 12 million people have been forced to flee their homes because of this war. They have lost jobs, they have lost their places of residence, their children have lost schools, and Ukraine has lost entities that are building our country and who are genuine citizens that pay taxes. That is, the country is losing its citizens and is losing its agency. Therefore, employment is of paramount importance. Companies are important because they pay taxes to the Ukrainian economy. That would be very important. That would be a powerful sign of support. It is also very important that you invest money into your offices in Ukraine. You should find the clusters of businesses in digitalization and renewable economy that could work in Ukraine. We are ready to discuss it. Frankly speaking, we are not able to grant you a maximally beneficial tax system at the moment, but I think that we can base Ukraine's reconstruction on finance. We need transparent relations. We need swift management on the beginning of your businesses in Ukraine. All of these aspects we are ready to discuss. That would be a good sign of support that would be beneficial mutually to both of us.
Mr. President, just before you joined us, we did some survey questions, and of course there was universal enthusiastic support for the valiant struggle for freedom and defense of the sovereignty and safety for the Ukrainian people, but also as a model for the rest of the world. But also the group told us that it was something, I think, Sarah, around 80% had 2% or fewer of their annual revenues ever came from Russia. So it wasn't such a big sacrifice for most after all. And I think we're not just being live streamed on CNBC, but I think we're being carried live. So, Sarah, you want to have a follow-up question?
Well, my follow-up is just, I think it's on the minds of a lot of the CEOs that I've talked to here, which is, given what you know about the Russian people, Russia, President Putin, what will it take to move them to negotiate or curtail their aggression?
We need a powerful Ukraine to do that. We need a powerful Ukraine. A powerful Ukraine is not Ukraine as a state that fights against Russia alone, which is situating its troops in Ukraine. Powerful Ukraine is a country which is united with the European Union, with every country of the European Union, just not on paper, but I mean as an alliance of global leaders. Ukraine is united with the European Union, it is united with the West, it is united with the United States of America, it is united with the positions of Canada, aligned with Australia, and also aligned with the countries of the African continent and with Asia. We have to make sure that area of this continent does not have a world of its own. Believe me, we can feel when a cruise missile hits Ukrainian cities, 10, 12, 15 of them, when they hit Ukrainian civilians, you understand that the distance between people, between countries, because of these weapons technologies, has been curtailed significantly. Therefore, believe me, if the enemy can reach us, it can reach every country of the European Union. And I'm sure that the enemy can reach the United States. This is not what I wish you to experience, because this implies destruction and casualties. We strive to defend the principles of democracy and freedom. And these principles are supposed to protect Ukraine. This is what is important for us, for our country today. Similarly, it is important that we have support in terms of weapons without protracting this process too much. We need more sanctions. I have heard the statistics that you mentioned about the companies that work with Russia, just 2% of them. But as you know, you have partners, you have friends. There are companies who are very influential in terms of global policies, in terms of European policies. You know these companies. You know the names of companies that can influence Russian economy. I know that for a fact. And I think that rallying these countries together, uniting businesses and the whole world around Ukraine can protect global values.